गुड मॉर्निंग, सुप्रभात डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आज से हम एमएससी सेकेंड सेम फिजिक्स इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स लेक्चर सीरीज आरंभ करने जा रहे हैं, जिसमें हमने सबसे पहला चैप्टर लिया है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक पोटेंशियल्स एंड फील्ड्स। बेसिकली इसकी जो मेन थीम है वो है पोटेंशियल फार्मूलेशन, स्केलर एंड वेक्टर पोटेंशियल। जब बात आती है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक पोटेंशियल एंड फील्ड की, तो जो बेसिक नॉलेज आपके पास है वो ये है कि आप इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फील्ड के बारे में जानते हैं, आप इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक पोटेंशियल के बारे में जानते हैं, आप मैग्नेटोस्टैटिक्स के बारे में जानते हैं, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड मैग्नेटिक पोटेंशियल के बारे में जानते हैं। फिर आपको कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि एक इलेक्ट्रिक पोटेंशियल होता है, उससे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड निगेटिव ग्रेडियंट ऑफ पोटेंशियल करके निकाल लेते हैं। ऐसे ही एक मैग्नेटिक वेक्टर पोटेंशियल होता है, जिससे आप मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की बात करें तो आपके पास कर्ल ऑफ मैग्नेटिक वेक्टर पोटेंशियल इक्वल टू मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होता है। पर ये जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड वेक्टर पोटेंशियल ए है और जो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक पोटेंशियल वी है, उनको डिफाइन करने के लिए, उनका फॉर्मुलिज्म बनाने के लिए हमको एक थ्योरी कंस्ट्रक्ट करनी है, एक थ्योरी बनानी है। एक थ्योरी को आधार मानते हुए हम इसको ड्राइव करेंगे, एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे, तो पाएंगे कि कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग डिस्कवरी होकर सामने आ रही है। अगर आप सामान्य रटने की कोशिश करेंगे कि भाई इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड होता है, इलेक्ट्रिक पोटेंशियल होता है, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होता है, मैग्नेटिक वेक्टर पोटेंशियल होता है, तो एक नॉर्मल जूनियर इंटरमीडिएट लेवल के स्टूडेंट्स की सोच होगी। लेकिन अगर एक एमएससी का स्टूडेंट जब सोचता है तो उसे ये सोचना है कि हमें एक्सट्रैक्ट करना है फॉर्मुलिज्म फॉर द पोटेंशियल ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एंड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, सो दैट वी कैन extract electric field and magnetic field in various situations. So now we have to understand how to make a formalism for electrostatic potential and magnetic potential, for electric potential and magnetic potential, so that once we got the nature of potential, we can extract electric field and magnetic field. Now, before going to discuss directly to the differential equation, just a brief out about Maxwell equations, because Maxwell equations will give us a thought to think about formulation of magnetic vector potential and electric potential. So Maxwell equations are four equations, basically a set of four equations. You all are familiar with that: Gauss's law of electricity, Gauss's law of magnetism or magnetostatistics. Basically we have done in 12th standard the magnetostatic, but further you know there is a magnetism. Now Faraday law of electromagnetic induction and modified Ampere-Circuitor law. And the integral form of these laws are: the surface integration of electric field for a closed surface is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of the total charge enclosed by that surface. Similarly, the total magnetic flux associated with a closed surface is always 0, because there is no existence of monopole alone. Now, Faraday law of electromagnetic induction tells us a new information, that when a time rate of change of magnetic flux takes place, then it also induces an EMF. That means electric field can be generated by time rate of change of magnetic flux, or you can say the time rate of change of magnetic field. Similarly, the fourth law, Ampere-Circuitor law, which is modified by Maxwell using displacement current. So you can say the line integration of magnetic field is equal to mu naught times of the circuit current plus mu naught times of the displacement current, where displacement current is proportional to time rate of change of electric flux. These are the integral form of the equations. If we want differential form of these equations, we have to make slight derivational things. What we can do? We know what is Gauss's divergence theorem, we know what is Stokes theorem. Gauss's divergence theorem tells us the surface integration of a vector can be converted into volume integration of that vector by making divergence of that vector. In a statement, we can say, if you are taking surface integration of a vector for a closed surface, then this will be same as if we take volume integration of divergence of that vector within the volume enclosed by that surface. Similarly, there is a Stokes theorem which says, if we are finding a line integration around a closed curve for a vector, the line integration of a vector around a closed curve will be equal to the surface integration of curl of that vector for a surface which is enclosed by that curve. Now, using these two tips and keeping in mind, for a volumetric distribution, charge can be written as volume integration of rho dV and current can be also written as surface integration of current density J. Now, if you just make a small change, surface integration of electric field can be written as divergence of electric field and volume integration, and charge can be written as volume integration of rho dV. So, this rho dV in volume integration, epsilon goes inside because it is a constant permittivity, and divergence of E volume integration. Now, compare this quantity with this quantity, you will get, compare divergence of E volume integration is same as volume integration of rho upon epsilon naught. What does it mean? It means the divergence of electric field is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of the charge density, and this is called differential form of Maxwell first equation. Similarly, the surface integration of magnetic field is magnetic flux, which is 0, can be written as divergence of magnetic field into volume integration for that surface, and this will be also 0, and integration of anything will come 0, that means the quantity is itself 0. So, we are getting this divergence of magnetic field is equal to 0. It is the second law which is modified into the differential form. Similarly, now line integration of electric field can be written as surface integration of its curl, and that is equal to d phi b by dt, where magnetic flux can be written as surface integration of B dot dA. So, dt goes inside dB by dt dot dA. Now, what we can say, the curl of E with surface integration is same as time rate of change of magnetic field with surface integration. So, curl of E will be equal to minus time rate of change of magnetic field. This is third equation, or called Faraday law of electromagnetic induction in differential form. Similarly, the fourth equation, Maxwell modified Ampere-Circuital law. Here B dot dl can be written as curl of B, surface integration, area integration, and I can be written as J dot dA, that means surface integration of current density. Epsilon E can be written as E dot dA, surface integration, and dt will go inside. So, del E by del T into surface integration. Now, you take these two surface integration common, you get curl of B in surface integration will be equal the surface integration of mu naught J plus mu naught epsilon naught del E by del T. What does it means? It means the curl of magnetic field is equal to mu naught times of the current density J and displacement current epsilon naught del E by del T. Now, we have these equations which are very, very important to deal, and these equation is called differential form of Maxwell equations. It was just a brief about integral form to differential form. Now, finally, we got differential form of Maxwell equations, and now we are talking about potential and fields formulation. And think about electrostatic and magnetostatic. When we talk about electrostatic and magnetostatic, that means we are talking about a rest charge and we are talking about a constant magnetic field which is not varying with time. So, it is not time varying magnetic field, it may vary with the space, but it is constant with respect to time. So, electrostatic and magnetostatic fields using Maxwell 4 equations, the divergence of electric field is 1 upon epsilon times of charge density and divergence of magnetic field is 0. That curl of electric field is minus del B by del T, which we have seen, and this is minus dB by dt. If you put here minus dB by dt, but B is constant, that is not varying with the time, what does it means? Del B by del T will be 0. This is the demand of electrostatics. You are saying that magnetostatics. In magnetostatics means del B by del T 0. So, curl of electric field will be also 0 in this situation. It is a special case where we are talking about electrostatist and magnetostatist. Similarly, if we talk about divergence curl of magnetic field, that is mu naught into J current density plus there is mu naught epsilon naught del E by del T. So, there is plus mu naught epsilon naught del E by del T, that means there is a del term del E by del T time rate of change of electric field, and you are talking about electrostatic. So, when you are talking about electrostatic, that means del E by del T will be 0. So, the second part of Maxwell equation will be 0. Here, if you are talking about del E by del T, this will be 0. So, what we can say? We can say the fourth set of equation we have, divergence of E is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of the charge density, divergence of B will be 0, curl of electric field is 0 because of magnetostatistics, and curl of magnetic field is just equal to mu naught times of J current density, which is also in electrostatic. Now, electric field and magnetic field can be expressed using the potential. Think, when divergence of electric field is this, divergence of magnetic field is 0. You know, there is a basic definition, electric field is negative gradient of potential. So, you simply write electric field is the negative gradient of potential, and if you just substitute this value, electric field is negative gradient of potential, you just substitute at first. So, what you will get? You will get del square V is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of rho, and this is Poisson equation. So, Poisson equation is del square V is equal to minus rho upon epsilon naught, and the magnetic field can be expressed as curl of magnetic vector potential A. That curl of magnetic vector potential A, if we substitute here in the fourth equation. So, if you substitute the value of B in the fourth equation, then you got curl of A is equal to mu naught J. Now, A cross B cross C, there is a vector product of 3 vectors. The vector product of 3 vectors can be expressed in this way, curl of A, that is first this into this and del is outside, minus del square A, and this quantity will be equal to mu naught times of J, because we have substituted in the fourth equation. If we assume the divergence of A is 0, the nature of potential A is such that the divergence of A is 0, then we will get a similar equation like we got here, del square of electric potential is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of rho. Similarly, del square of magnetic vector potential is equal to mu naught times of J. What we have seen here? We have seen here the beauty of similarity. If you see, we are talking about electrostatic and magnetostatic. In this, if we take E is negative gradient of potential and if substitute in the first equation, we are getting a equation, Gaussian equation, that is del square, Laplace equation, you can say del square V is equal to 1 upon epsilon times of rho, and then here we are getting del square A is equal to mu naught J, means del square operator with the electrostatic potential gives you charge density upon epsilon naught, or you can say the charge density is the cause of electric potential. Similarly, the del square operator with magnetic vector potential is equal to mu naught J, that means J is the cause of magnetic vector potential, that means the current density is the cause of magnetic vector potential. If there will be no current density, then there will be a question mark whether there will be a magnetic vector potential or not, and of course, if J is 0, A will go to 0. So, now just try to understand these basic things for electrostatic and magnetostatic. The further we will discuss tomorrow. Thanks for paying your attention.